that it would be $800 to $1,000 anyways for that debris fire. I mean, we spent 3 hours up there soaking it, putting it out. And then I don't know. I haven't heard from
$650 for the first truck roll and 3 people,
3 trucks.
3 trucks.
Mhm.
That's gonna be more than that.
Brush truck, 2 tankers, 10 people, 12 people.
Hey,
Mhm.
I think we're,
Dan's trying to show you, sure.
It's going through something still this sexy. Nice, Dan, nice.
Allison got that for me.
we're waiting for Natasha and she's at Kelly Stand Road. One, because their insurance won't pay for it.
Yep.
And
The one we went up
one
3
car,
times.
that one car accident on Super 7. It just got passed around at the insurance.
Yep.
All right. I think we are all here.
Josh, I do have
Can we
that.
start before 7?
Sebastian's not here, but all right, we got 5
I may
minutes.
need help sharing it, but.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes. We might as well wait.
Yeah.
I figured I'd show you the shirt so I didn't disrupt the meeting.
You got a good number for ANR,
For who?
ANR, Agency of National Resource.
I do.
Text it to me, would you? They've never come back, do anything over there. East Arlington, where that tractor trailer was in the ditch. They were supposed to,
Yep.
I talked to them once,
Yeah, I don't know if they've been to Butternut Cutter yet.
but he
'Cause,
said that there was a outfit out of Hampshire that was supposed to contact me and
Right,
come there
yeah.
and do the cleanup.
Dumped all the,
And the culvert headers got smashed and all that. So
so I know they were there the next day cleaning out.
they were up there the next day and got the 2 drums of oil.
Yes, not too shabby.
Didn't do anything
Not
more.
for some pizza and a candy bar.
Yep, I'll get that to
I don't
you.
know if it'll buy a pizza, but it'll get a candy bar and a Red
A
Bull.
discounted rate,
Get a couple slices and a Coke at Vermonto's.
not bad.
Not bad at all. I don't know, last time I bought pizza, I was,
Especially if you get like Manchester. Ooh,
we need a mortgage in Manchester.
I'm like, the last time I got Manchester has pizza, I'm like, must just go with the Eel Tavern and eat dinner. Crazy.
I had Sam's Woodfire the other night, which was really
I
good.
like Sam's.
Oh, was it a birthday party on Saturday?
Well, Sam's is good.
Have you tried that new place? What is it, Lola?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Is it really?
Yes,
Oh,
it's not inexpensive,
no.
but it
of
is
course not.
phenomenal.
You gotta pay for that new building, which is a nice
So
little
the
building.
chef that's there, it was the chef at Hillfront.
It is pizza though, right?
They have wood fire
Pizza and
pizza,
other
they've
stuff.
got all sorts of, the tapas are really good, they make their own like pita naan,
Yeah.
and the hummus is
Wow.
phenomenal.
Well, Hill Farm Inn was good, so.
Yeah.
So once we get going, Cynthia, whenever you want to share that, I can talk about it.
Okay, what's first on the agenda?
Just-
So your report is really the first
Yep.
item, and it would be in that report?
Yes.
Okay, so, let's wait until we can get started
Okay.
and then I'll.
But I can talk about other things.
You can,
while-
no, you can start talking about it and
Okay.
I'll try to get it up and
Good. I
then,
got faith.
that's unfortunate, expression, excuse me. Not gonna work anyway. I will endeavor to get the picture on the
Okay,
screen.
I appreciate that.
And fortunately, both Nick and Matt are here, so I have technical.
Yeah, technical
Hi, Marty.
assistance.
How are you?
Promise we'll get Nick's name off of there as soon as our new TA starts.
Exactly. You know what? You waited this long, like.
I know, right?
It's
But-
a mentality, you know, it's like,
Cynthia, I think there'll be some other people from AAC that'll come in and
Sure.
need to be admitted when you are ready to let people in.
I have let people in. I don't see anybody waiting.
No, I think it's gonna be a couple of minutes, because
Okay.
people were still driving home.
Okay, sure,
Stuff like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing the water department first.
Oh, excuse me.
No, you're fine, you're fine. It's a public meeting. It's a public meeting, you're
Oh.
fine. But they've got plenty of time.
Okay.
It's going
Good. You
not too bad.
It is 7 o'clock and Sebastian has arrived, so we'll start the meeting. We'll call the meeting to order.
Recording in progress.
Are there any additions or deletions from the agenda?
This is the water department meeting.
It's also on their agenda, so I don't think there is. Is there any public comments? Anybody on the call or in the room that is not on the agenda? Now's your time. Yeah, if not, I don't see anybody, but that doesn't mean they're not sneaking behind somebody. So we'll move.
We're good on this end, Dan.
Okay, we will move to the report from the Arlington water operator. Josh, the floor is yours.
Okay. So, a couple weeks back, I, and the help of Willie, thankfully, there was a bunch of brush located around the storage tank, which hopefully we'll see in a second, a before and after. So this is a before
Yep.
picture of last year, what it looked like. And if you don't mind, just scroll down, Cynthia.
Hold down. Wait a minute.
To the document. Yes. But there was a lot of brush and vines that have grown up within the limits of the storage tank. So me and Willie spent 3 days cutting the vines out of the fencing. And then I rented a dingo to remove all the roots inside of the fence, which it looks like they had gravel underneath before it started all growing in. And that's another before, and then the next one will be an after.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh.
it took a week, but we got it. And then
Nice.
I hadn't budgeted anything for this project. We already had the equipment rental in there, which I did go $5 over that budget item when it was all said and done. And then next year I'll just budget a little bit for some gravel, but I did clear around most of the fencing as well and got rid of most of the roots. So as long as it's maintained moving forward, it should be good. But I haven't been back to clean anything up yet. I'm gonna get the moss around the storage tank and some other things, but looks much more presentable, even though
Much
I'm the
better.
only one that sees it most of the time.
Is that like honeysuckle that's everywhere?
It's a mixture of honeysuckle and vines and everything else.
Man,
Oh,
and
it's so much
bittersweet.
Raspberries.
I have a name for it, but I won't.
It just took forever to cut it out
Yeah.
of the
Not
fence.
Sure.
But I use another adjective in between.
So I just want to say, I appreciate Willie's help on this project, because it saved me half the time, and misery loves company sometimes. So I appreciate that. And then the next thing, so I'm sorry, Dan and Glenn, that I didn't send you an email of this, but basically I have a grant spending schedule, that I had given everybody here a hard copy of.
Yep.
So we already had put in for the generator, and that already has been approved. And then you'll
Yep.
see this additional $3,600 for a new pedestal to come off of the power pole. That's gonna be extra. Green Mountain Power got back to us afterwards saying that we needed a new pedestal. So that'll be an additional cost because we'll be coming off the pole and having to do some reconfiguration of that. And then the next two items that I did provide quotes for along with that, is a new double door metal from Miles. And I only got one quote, and it's just for Miles, but basically it's just old barn door now that's just plywood, and we're gonna be heating the whole entire building, so we basically need to have a door. moving forward. So that's up for consideration to get that, as well as we don't have to pay for it now, but just an estimate from Suburban Propane. I had them come down and look at it. Basically, our tank's undersized for the winter months. He recommended doubling the size. So that would be the quote for $3,837 would be removing the old one, getting the propane out, installing the new one, refilling it, and then running a new gas line and disconnecting from the other one, and also doing required safety tests. And then with that, and then I have a rough number for the heat pump installation. And with everything combined, we're looking at a leftover of $19.79 for all the grant work.
Phenomenal. We've got the two quotes here. Do we want to approve all of this or
So
just the two quotes that you have
Don't
tonight?
think for the Suburban Propane that needs to be paid till afterwards.
It just comes.
If
under
you just,
invoice,
I
but-
guess if we just approve it, I can sign it saying that we agree and I can send it to them. And then as long as we approve the RK Miles one, and then we can just get it on the warrant, and then I can order
And
that.
then, well, the
And the heat,
pedestal, we're not really gonna get a quote for that.
no, just the
That's
same
built
monument
from-
that works with Brookfield Generators will
Right.
be doing that work because they're doing all the other electrical.
And then the heat pump, we'll get a quote on.
I have one quote, but I wanted to get a couple others
Okay.
on that.
So I'll make a motion to approve the Miles lumber quote for the new double door in the amount of $2,465. And I'll also make a motion, and with that, also approve the larger tank from Suburban Propane estimated at $3,837.21.
Second that.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Sebastian to approve the,
Nope, second by Jamie.
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it was seconded by me.
Okay,
Jamie.
sorry. Seconded by Jamie. You sound alike, a lot alike. I was writing when I wasn't looking at the screen, so I didn't see who did it, but anyway, seconded by Jamie for the double door. This is all for the well house, right?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
2465 even.
Yep.
And then for the Suburban Propane upgrade of the tank and transfer the propane from the old to the new for 3721, I believe it was.
Yes.
Correct.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Okay, and we'll come back to the heat pumps on the pedestal. Is that the idea?
Yep,
Okay,
the pedestal will just be on the 10% overages.
yes. All right, and we're waiting for other quotes on the heat pumps, so.
Yes.
What else you got, Josh?
Okay, so I just wanted to touch base. So I'll wait for that. So I did sit down with James Hawley, and we do have a plan moving forward. I think I quickly mentioned it last meeting, but a plan to take care of all of the moderate to major leaks when we had the leak detection service done last year, as well as a hydrant replacement. So I have all that scheduled with him. I believe it's excluding the hydrant, it's a total of 5 repairs. So we kind of have that roughly scheduled out and on the docket for the spring, summer, and fall, as well as a couple other things that's going to trickle in with replacing service lines for homeowners. And the meter readings had just gotten done, so those will be out later this month and potentially into next month. I and Burr had just got done taking our distribution certification course last week. Basically, they're grandfathering in operators who have worked over a year and a half at their specific jobs. And all you have to do is sign up for the course. It's a full day thing. It was free. Then the state will be sending us our distribution license, and that's going to be grandfathered in until 2029. So if anybody new down the road wants to come in here, they'll have to test up to get their distribution license in order to operate the system. So it's nice that the state decided to grandfather people in. Of course, that'll mean more credit hours we'll have to take, which is more money. I'm sure the renewal fee will be higher. But yep, other than that, just doing some odds and ends. And nothing else too crazy going on. Just trying to schedule stuff with Brookfield. It seems like sometime in May, we'll get everybody lined up and start that project, and probably need a little help from Mark doing a little bit of excavation stuff. But yeah, other than that,
And when you do the Brookfield work, you're gonna take will the current generator be out and offline for a day or two?
yeah, so we'll be offline for probably a day or two. They are bringing a backup generator,
Okay.
which was in when we originally signed the quote, as in if we needed it, and depending on the electrical issue,
Start it up.
they'll just hook it up
Gotcha.
if there's an
Oh, that's
emergency. So,
I do generator work.
Yep.
In critical locations often, and that would be my only, just kind of watch the weather.
yes,
Right.
yes. So I'm
As
hoping.
much as they're wrong, but.
Correct, correct. I hope we don't have to use it, but there's gonna be
That's
one on
perfect.
site in case we need it.
Okay.
Josh, I have a quick question on
course.
you brought up the meters. Is there
Yeah.
a schedule for replacing X number annually for the next few years?
I
I
have
know
some
that was
rough,
the discussion we had, but
yeah,
I
I
don't-
have some rough numbers done out. And I wanted to probably present it at our next water board meeting, but
That's fine.
I'm thinking initially that the funds we had allocated for the lead line inventory, to use some of those this year after talking with Otter Creek Engineering.
Yep.
It sounds like we can kind of get away with not doing what I had originally thought for now, and saving some of that money to do our service lines and replacing the galvanized now, and seeing if there's lead between the curb stop and the water main, but then using maybe a portion that we have budgeted in, but use that towards our meter replacement. Is kind of my hope to get that going. And then during budget season, kind of budgeting to do 38 meters a year roughly. And then going to do, my suggestion would be radio read meters. And I have quotes and everything, and we can go in depth maybe
Yeah.
the next meeting on all that. But that's just kind of my initial thoughts on it.
okay. I was just looking for an update basically because I
Yep.
knew we'd talked about it and didn't know where that fit in the puzzle.
Yes, so it is on my radar. I'm trying to get all the well house stuff done first. Everything installed, and then there's gonna be some carpentry work that needs to be done in insulation and whatnot. So I'm trying to get that all done first. And then afterwards, move on to that project.
Okay, all right. The next two items, financial update and review of the aged receivables. I don't know if we want to do those in reverse order or not, but you probably have most of the information about the financial update and the aged receivables. So if you want to weigh
Yep.
in on that.
So if you don't mind, I will do them in reverse. So the
Yep.
age receivables, I just want to let everybody know that as of today, we have sent 26 people to Allied. We finally have worked out the kinks with that, I think, mostly. And then we have roughly received back $1,000 from Allied. And then just so it's clear for everybody, Allied just takes whatever number we send them, and they take their percentage off of that. They don't charge any extra. So me and Robin, yeah. So me and Robin kind of had to figure out how to do that on our end to make things look.
They should be able to, they give you an accounting report though, right?
Yes.
It shows,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
okay. It's just a matter of entering it.
So they email us that, and also send us a physical copy as well as a check think they're gonna start doing it monthly, or even the first one, so I don't know how frequently we're gonna do it.
Since we are outside, we'll be outside of the moratorium for disconnects next month,
Yep,
right?
yep,
So people that aren't responding or
sure.
setting up a plan with anyone, do we have a plan to do disconnects?
So was gonna bring that up to you guys. So basically through Allied, we can either do a time frame limit. So whether we gave them an account number and they've reached out an extended period of time, so there's a time limit and when we go next step, or there's an amount. Or a combination of both. So we just need to determine how we want to do that.
What's your recommendation?
I would say a hybrid. I would say at least a time limit to let them get a hold of people and do their thing, as well as a number attached to that.
I'm in agreement with that. I think
Do
you have a
number
good,
you're thinking, number wise?
So we can do
There's some big ones.
as high as, I mean, most, I would say $1,000. I mean, I would say $1,000, or we could start with $1,000 and then
we can adjust it.
move it.
I'm gonna trust your judgment on that because you've done so much work on the receivables today that I feel like you have a good sense of the ones that we're probably not gonna get anything from unless we
Sure.
take such action. So
18 of them over that.
Yeah.
I know.
So out of the 26, it would be 18 that we have basically a time limit.
Yep.
And also there's gonna be reaccruing bills on top of that. But I would say $1,000 and some sort of time limit, whether it's like a month or two, of them reaching out. I
So
would.
basically, after they hit $1,000, then there's a time frame
Yep.
after
60
which.
days.
Yep, so it'd be like $1,000 and so, yeah, 60 days of them reaching out and whether them not hearing anything or no payments being.
I only pull 60 days out of my head because that somebody gets it in 30
Yeah.
or like 28 and they
Sure.
write a check if they choose to snail mail. And
Sure.
I'm trying to think of the logistics behind the timing.
And I can kind of bounce that off of him
Okay.
and see also what he recommends, because obviously they've dealt with it more, what maybe be the best practice for that.
And they do it for other utilities.
Sure. Sure. So he might have a better recommendation. That's just kind of off the top of my head is kind of going after the larger accounts.
I personally gonna trust your judgment on that, so. But I think that because we're out of that, we only have a short window that we can really, pull some levers
Sure.
with people
For
to
sure.
get some payment. We should probably plan to do that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because what is it? It's May to October, November.
Yeah.
It's like a really short time frame.
Yes, it is. So I think just calling them up and initially saying that and seeing where that goes
Okay.
and then maybe reevaluating, I think the next water board's July something.
We can always do it at the
So-
beginning of any select board
Yeah.
meeting too, so.
So I think just doing that and reevaluating afterwards, would be best practices.
Yeah, I'm just curious, obviously, you're talking about people who, haven't paid their water bills, right?
Correct.
And, it sounds like these are long-term, not.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm just curious, as just a taxpayer in town and all of that sort of thing. It's a pretty serious thing when people, well, first of all, it's serious, but then, hey, you get paid now. But the other part of it is pretty serious to shut off these water. And I'm just curious about, if somebody says, yeah, look, I can pay you $30 a month or something like that. Is that in the plan so that?
There's a whole
So,
statute
yeah.
that outlines exactly how we have to do this.
Okay,
And we have to follow that to the letter of the law.
yeah,
And with that, there are mechanisms where they can set up payment plans. And there is also, as part of the law, I think we offer, there are places that they could seek out financial assistance if they qualify and all of that. So that's all outlined in the state statute for water system operators and how we have to handle that. It even goes as far as to we have to print it on a special color sheet of paper and mail it, and it has to be posted. And there's a lot of that. So we follow all of those rules to the letter of the law.
Yeah.
And I think the other really important note, and you said as a taxpayer, and it just popped into my mind, and I know we've said this over and over and again, and we beat the horse on this, but the water system is paid for by the ratepayers and not the taxpayers of Arlington. So this is fully funded by the ratepayers, which is all the more reason why we need our ratepayers to pay us.
Yes.
So,
And basically, probably there's some portion of these people that really have some economic issue and they're probably.
Yes. There are a few that are into estates. Right,
yeah,
there's a few.
and we can take that into account. We do have a level of discretion that we can take into account there, but there are a lot that are very high. There are some, to your point, that is in a state that we're probably not going to get anything from until that property transfers. And that's another lever that we have to lien properties, but that is a arduous process that we have to redo a lot. So.
Can I just add one thing? We used to have a higher bar before we started, aggressively trying to collect and now sending people to the collections agency. But we actually weren't doing anybody any favor because once somebody owes $1,000, it's really hard to pay that off. So we have actually found it's better to get to people when they owe 300 or 500, because then they have a chance they can do it because there's interest that accumulates on it. So the interest can just kill you once it gets high. So it's kind of counterintuitive to me, but I think it's a better system now to help people get caught on this and see this as another utility bill that they have to pay. Because it doesn't do them any favors to let them go.
Yeah, I just, not.
No, not it, right, that's right.
No, it's a very good question. And to that note, and to Cynthia's comment, having been relatively aggressive on these over the last 6 to 8 months, Josh has worked really hard at this. And we look at our over 60 and our over 90 numbers, they're under 550 for each of those, which is phenomenal that we're, $500 over 60 and $520 and change over 90 days, which is great. So people aren't getting to that. It's just that we have a batch that are over a 120 that we need to work on.
That's good. Thank you so much for.
And the over 30 number is currently high, but I'm assuming billing went out, and I never really count that because you get it and it takes 45 days to pay and all.
I always print the 120 day off. So from last month to this month, we're down $1,800. The unfortunate part is we did add another 22 people that came into the 120 mark, which have all gotten notices. The notices seem to be working. Most times people just pay in full and I never hear from them. Once in a while, somebody signs up for a payment plan. Currently, we only have 8 people, which I'm calling in good standing, but making payment plans with me. But most of which I would call the problem accounts, which is mostly 30 accounts, and I have 26 currently at Allied. But I have some of those people making payment plans that have continued to follow through, which is good. So, and it seems like Allied's gonna benefit us and it takes a little bit of the stress off me. It wasn't not stressful at first, dealing with Allied and getting it all set up, but I think it's a little easier now.
Well, you don't have to be the bad guy making the calls.
No, and then it'll be a little figuring out how we're gonna do the shut off notices, if that's all gonna run through them, how much I'm gonna be involved with that. So I'll just have to kind of figure that out.
Just their best practice, and if you need help taping them to doors the day before, whatever, call me and have you to run around and some
I
scotch
would
tape and
think that
paper.
those last steps have to go through the town, because the town is the only one that has the authority to do that. I mean, an Allied may work in other states where that's not true, but I would want to double check that.
Sure.
My understanding is that last enforcement part is.
I think they can send everything out, but
They should be able to send out notices.
the
Yeah,
one that we tape, obviously.
right,
they're
that
not here.
Josh
We
would
have
do
to
that, yeah.
Post that one to the door.
Yeah.
Or the TA or something.
But yeah, that's all I have for that one.
Good, I appreciate it. I think you've done a good job, Josh, on this, and I'm really encouraged at the over 60 and over 90 number. I think, you did a stellar job there, so.
Well,
And
thank you.
I concur with Matt's sentiment that we should defer to you because you're the operator. But
Okay.
I doubled down on his comments that you've done a great job with this and it's going in the right direction. So that's all we can ask, I think.
Well, thank you.
So if you want to go ahead with the financial end, go right after it.
Yes. So like I said, I did go over $5 for my rental from Brown's.
The 10%.
Yes.
Good.
And it does look like our electricity is going to be high. I'm hoping when the space heater gets turned off, because I did put a larger size space heater in there than what was originally in there. So I'm hoping once that gets turned off and then maybe putting a heat pump in throughout the summer, we kind of counterbalance that. Maybe not. I think we'll be over anyways there, which I know Matt had kind of brought to light there.
Kind of figured that.
So
was the case,
we'll just have to make adjustments, and then I'm also gonna get a hold of them and maybe see what we can do in the future. I guess I didn't think of it, but how it works at a ski resort, when you go over a certain amount of time, you get bumped into a different rate. And somebody, when I was just in this last class, somebody was talking about that. I never thought about that for the water department,
Interesting.
because our well runs 24/7.
But we're also a municipality, so does that,
I don't think that matters.
And it doesn't matter when it comes.
So I'm gonna have a conversation with them and like figure out the minor details, because it's something that I thought about at Bromley had to deal with for shut off times and whatnot to save money, but not. I haven't really thought about it
Kind of like
for,
grade 11, but.
Yeah.
Grade 11, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna sit down with them and maybe figure out something that'll make that better. But certainly getting the space heater out of there will help the cause. And other than that, everything's kind of on par. We should probably come under for the backup operator. I know we budgeted a little bit extra, which I have used Willie quite a bit for odds and ends, like the storm
Good.
tank project. But I think we'll eventually come under that. But yeah, everything else seems to be on par. I think we'll be over for the interest rate for back pay on the age receivables. We did have property 031 cleared. We finally got a check from the bank,
Nice.
which was located on Buck Hill Road. So
Oh, right.
that helps the cause. So I think we'll definitely be way over that number I had budgeted.
and Josh, could I just say something?
You
about
may.
the snapshot that I gave the board,
Yep.
the balance in the checking account. So I did give the board, and Dan, I think this was in the email that I sent to you, just a financial snapshot of the water department right now. And, we have a lot of money in the checking account because we finally had the ARPA money transferred into the water department. The water department had paid for parts of the wastewater study, the hydrology study, the South Road project, and we finally had the ARPA money moved in. So that we have 380,000 something in the checking account as of April 8th. We have to make the bond payment of 136,000 or so thereabouts in June. So if you subtract that, you have an operating amount of about $245,000. So that's healthy. If Josh has to do any matches or pay anything up front and then get reimbursed, we've got something to go forward with. But to the extent that this is the ARPA money, remember, we're not going to get that again. So we got to be choosy about how we use this for the water department and get the best bang for the buck. But the ARPA money, there still may be more ARPA money coming if we do the hydrology project, more of the hydrology work, the compliance and the study. Josh will spend money on that, and then the ARPA money will come over to cover it. And that is not included in the checking account balance that you see. So, I feel like you're in a good position.
And piggybacking off of that a little bit, I have gotten together with Otter Creek about the hydrology project. Kind of next steps are basically potentially drilling a test well up above the storage tank. That would serve as a backup that would fill the storage tank in case of an emergency or in case we need to do work at our well house, because currently there is not really a backup source that will supply water to the entire system. The other use of that money that we could do is we could do daily meter checks. We would have to install a meter at the spring house. It would be daily meter, daily weather data, for a year, and then they would have to write up a report.
Are you talking about Red Mountain?
Yes, Red Mountain
You didn't
Springs.
say that, yeah.
And that would serve us to an extent, because basically the state's saying where we can get so much water from that. And me and Robert both believe if we actually did this, we would find that it's more. But unfortunately, Red Mountain Springs only provides water to roughly a third of the system if there is an issue, and it hasn't been ran in 8 years. So my opinion would be a better use of the money would be putting it towards a test well, as like a permanent backup source for the future, that would probably help us get off a moratorium.
And did you say a test well right next to the tower? Did you
Yes,
say that?
yeah.
Yeah, and we have we have a very small actual
Yes.
property, but if we drill the test well, that would create an isolation zone
Yep.
around it.
So we would have to, get with the neighbor, and I think it's 100 feet or 200 feet, I can't remember. That we would have to kind of ask the neighbor for around the well, so wherever it
Like
got
an
placed,
easement or
an
something?
easement that saying that they couldn't put anything within that. And obviously it would just be a portion, because we would try to do it close to the well as or the storage tank as possible, but it would just be a matter of asking for that, which I don't foresee being a big issue. We wouldn't need to do that now, but if it was found to be viable,
And if we actually did the backup well. Right.
yes.
But we can
But
do the test well.
It would need to be a test well, and it would need to be studied for a while, and then a report would need to be written up. But that's the last time I spoke with Robert, that's kind of what we were thinking and leaning towards would be best use of the money, and best future for the water system.
And I think Josh is right. I mean, I still think that the Red Mountain Spring should be studied, because I think particularly if it's more productive than we think, or than the state thinks, that's good to know. And Josh has even floated the idea that if that really worked and could be brought back into success, that could take care of the town on the other side of the Battenkill. I mean, like serve that part, and then he doesn't have to be piping water under the Battenkill or whatever. So there's that possibility for the future. But if there's no way that it can support the whole system in an emergency, it makes sense to have a true backup well that could do all of that. It might turn out that you need both. Maybe you get a well near the tower and it's not powerful enough to do the whole system.
Sure. So, yeah, those
Well, no,
are
maybe
just,
they don't need-
Well, it moves you to a 2N+1, right? If you have the well at
Yeah,
the
'cause
tower.
They don't need a total replacement though, right?
no, we just need something, because basically we have to maintain the storage tank at the highest level possible. Because if we dip down below a certain amount, we just don't have enough pressure for the whole entire system via elevation. So we just need something if the well were to go down, or we get into a worst case situation, we have something that can just supply the storage tank directly, which is what that would serve as. So it wouldn't have to be ran all the time, it would be just located right next to it, and would just be something we turned on in worst case scenarios, but also so we could service the well house if need be, because right
Take
now,
one offline.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're Okay,
Yeah.
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 Do you have 3 kids up there?
we would have to run power. So
Okay.
if we do that, that should probably be a part of that money, is running temporary power more or less up there. But I can talk to them to see if that's included. But we do have a right of way up through there, so I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal to run that up through.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
And
Is,
that's,
is there any other business to be brought before the water board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the water meeting.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Good.
I was looking that time. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. We'll take a 3-minute break to
Yeah.
switch meetings.
Thank you.
Thanks,
everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Decided she.
Recording stopped.
Yeah. I just wanted to. Okay.
I haven't forgotten that when I first started, you wanted to get some time to meet or whatever, so.
It was on the- it's on the- Yeah, it's on the league website,
Yeah.
today.
No, I just wanted to.
I don't know what works for you or whatever.
I'm off all week.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what your schedule is, but.
I took Thursday and Friday off. So you just-
I'm probably the only
Be
one that thinks that way,
available.
but I,
Yeah, I'll send some.
I've hired a lot of people, right? So.
Grab a coffee or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Kids glad to be on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Are they
Spent the
still on
whole day in
vacation or is
pajamas.
vacation
All this
over?
week. Oh, this
No, all
week,
this
yeah. Yeah. Yep, I spent the whole day in pajamas.
Were they on vacation last week though,
No.
too?
No.
Oh, that was in Virginia. They were on vacation because I was in Roanoke. And the
Oh,
week
that is-
before,
yeah.
I was in New York and they were on vacation. So I'm like,
Yep.
wait, kids
Oh, I
never
know.
go to school.
Well, and like, I
And then
know,
we go back next week and next Wednesday's a half day.
Oh,
it's only freaking half days.
well, and then it's May and you got a long weekend.
Uh,
You got Memorial Day, right?
Coming out.
Is there a, Wi-Fi that's public for this place?
There is a guest Wi-Fi here, TOA-guest.
Trying to keep. Separated.
well, now they're best friends, apparently.
Well,
And,
I have the boys get on first, so
Oh,
I have
okay.
them sit in
Yeah.
opposite seats.
but now,
You have to sit with your brother.
Janelle and Isla are in softball together, and
Uh-huh.
so now they're like best friends, and they want to play this. I can't even, and they're not even in high school yet.
Oh,
Oh, I know.
did you get a dog?
No, I'm still on the fence.
Still on the.
I don't really need it. I have a third monitor that like doesn't work when I'm on. my
Oh, the
phone.
I'm
number?
not sure if it's circulated in the packet.
I don't think I have.
But I have a buddy who's doing the whole setup, so I recommend it.
Figure out where we have this.
It's under.
It would be
There
on
it
the
is,
highway.
7,
Highway.
so that's what the motion number needs to be.
Yeah, the STP and. Yeah, so it would be construction inspection for this BPS, or this STP, number. For award.
Looks like everybody's back. I'll call the meeting to order. It is 7:37.
Recording in progress.
Call the meeting to order at 7:37. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, Dan, we have 2 additions this evening. The first will be an addition to approve our town administrator hire. And the second addition is liquor licenses this evening.
Okay,
So I think we can squeeze those in, probably just, we'll do 9A and 9B before 10,
okay.
or 9B and 9C, because we got 9 there.
Yeah.
However you want to call it. I'll make a motion
9B
to
and 9C.
add line items 9B, town administrator hire, and 9C liquor license.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to add TA approval to the 9B and liquor licenses to 9C. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All righty. Minutes of the last meeting, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Sebastian.
Yeah.
I know, I detected the difference. Okay, good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And next is public comments. So if there's anyone on the call or in the meeting that would like to speak on issues not on the agenda, now's your time. Is there anyone that has anything outside the agenda?
Not in the room here.
Okay. Moving on, Arlington Highway. There's a series of things applicable there, so we'll just run right down through them. V-Trans paperwork,
Yeah, I just wanted to
road
report,
standards approval.
do you want me to start on them?
Yes, go right down through those.
So I wanted to report to the board that, we have completed the annual V-Trans paperwork, saying that we're gonna apply for a paving grant, reporting, various different things to different parts of V-Trans. And I cannot express enough gratitude towards Mark Robinson and Patrick Wilson and also Nick Zayas for helping me understand the forms more or less and get through them. I would not have gotten through this stuff without those guys. I just thank them much, and Jim Henderson of BCRC, because I didn't have to go photograph all the culverts and everything because he's already done it. So we have payments to BCRC for his work and for Nick's work, and they are totally worth it. So when you approve those warrants, you wanna think about all the work that they've done for us. We do have a number of items here, but we have Nick here to talk about the 7A sidewalk, and I'd like to give him a chance to do that so he can take off if he wishes. And where we are with this, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, is we have contracted with this independent engineer who's gonna be sort of the inspector, the quality inspector for the whole project. And Dan and Nick and I have contracted with that firm. The whole project has gone out to bid. The bid documents are in the town clerk's office downstairs. So if anybody asks you about that, you can say they can go look at them in the town clerk's office. And I think that Nick wants to give us some other updates about the total money or other aspects for taking away.
Yeah, okay, so
Where's yours,
Item
Nick?
item of the night is the award for construction inspection that came out of the At the Ready committee that Cynthia and Dan and I sat on, that you guys constituted. The At the Ready process, as we discussed previously, is effectively a state contracting process that allows for non-bid based purchasing from pre-qualified contractors. So from this ATR pre-qualified list, we contacted the first people of our preference based on our review of their qualifications. That was Green & Pearson Incorporated, or GPI. GPI has submitted a proposal that was within $1,000 of the allocated budget, and their submission was reviewed by Dan, Cynthia, and I. We've all signed off on it, and it looks acceptable for us. So to keep this project moving on time, we will need an award of this At the Ready construction inspection services contract for the Arlington, for project Arlington STP BP 17-2, which Matt has written down, for their total amount of $76,340. This has been reviewed by V-Trans for acceptability of the bid, as well as the committee as well, or itself. So this is ready to go. This is the last engineering award of the project. As Cynthia noted, the project is out to bid as of April 15th. There will be a pre-bid meeting on April 30th here at this town office. And we look forward to bids coming in, hopefully on time and on budget in about 3 weeks. So we look forward to building this year, and this is the next step in that.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the Rec Park Pedestrian Access STP BP 172 contract in the amount of $76,340.
Second.
Motion made by Matt, seconded by Jamie to approve the award of the construction inspection for $76,340. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. So road standards, approval, paving grant, et cetera.
Yes, this is paperwork that, we do for the state. And Nick, here, these are the standards and they have to sign this, right? And then this is another signature.
Yeah, that's another signature. That's your network inventory certification.
Okay, so there are two
Wonderful.
items and I've marked the page that needs to be, signed. As I say, this is like the standard thing, Sebastian, this is like the town promises to adhere to the state road and bridge standards and, you know, do the inventory and all that kind of good stuff. So that's, and these are necessary in order to qualify. It's on, yes.
And there it is.
And these are necessary in order to qualify for V-Trans funding for things. So, so
Now
that's-
we can- for these, we just signed them.
I don't think you really need a
I don't think you've
motion.
ever done a motion for them before.
Cynthia,
Yes,
anything that I need to sign, if you'll leave it on the table, I'll sign it first thing in the morning before everybody gets there.
absolutely. We'll put them out for you.
I would recommend a motion on the road standards because that is a town policy.
Okay. then let's
So,
have-
yeah, you
let's
can
have
definitely
a
pass a
motion.
motion on the road standards. We usually do that, but that
I'll make
is
a-
town policy.
I'll make a motion to approve the road standards as presented.
Second.
Matt made the motion, Jamie seconded it to approve the road standards as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All right.
Then the last item there has to do with the Benedict crossing, and it's good that Nick's still here, because, he can chime in. So last time we were talking about this question of needing to have, essentially an assessment of the abutments of that bridge that included like an underwater assessment. And that it hadn't been done before, but it has to be done now. So I checked with Nick, and that assessment of the abutments was not part of the MSK study. So we have to have that done separately. So we're gonna have to, go out to bid for that and have that done and have that, figure out how much it's gonna cost and that kind of stuff. Since we don't have the money for the bridge, it's not an emergency, but I think we should start on that so that we have that in hand, going forward. Is that-
And yes, that's true. The town can go to bid on that as you see fit with the scope you see fit based on the information in that previous study.
Okay,
And, or one other thing that you can know that you have the option of is that this is the kind of thing that could be eligible for a subsequent V-Trans, like structure scoping grant. That you've scoped it, this would be an engine for the engineering for that repair. You may not want to, the historic preservation issues have not changed with the bridge. They will make anything more expensive. It would be better, or is likely to be better with more bang for your buck if you wait on doing that, wait on seeking a grant for that for a couple of years. But if you feel like you need that in the next couple of years, now would be the time, or the next year or two would be the time to do that. And preliminary engineering report is probably what you want to call it.
okay, so we can think about that. I can, try to look into that a little bit. And there's one more thing under highway that I'd like to bring up, Dan, and that is the covered bridge. The last time I reported to the board, the historic preservation people were saying that we had to have a special design analysis of the bridge to specify exactly what needed to be done and how, before we could go out to bid on the repairs, because they gave us a grant, but they said we couldn't have the grant until we did this design thing. And that was actually back in the fall. We didn't have anybody do the work anyway, but back in the fall, that's what they said. And I kind of got overwhelmed by wastewater, which that sounds very unpleasant, but I really was. And then I had my surgery, and then, I was so angry at them that I was ready to call the governor's office. I did not do that, but I was very angry at them for imposing this extra step and extra cost on us. So I basically didn't do anything. And so I picked it up and I'm corresponding with them, and they are yelling at me and saying, you could have had it all done by now, which is totally true. So I'm the one that dropped the ball, and What is not clear is whether we can still get that same grant, since it's actually from a previous year now, or whether we should start out applying again for a grant. This is a repair that we were thinking would cost $120,000. We now have the additional cost of this design firm to do stuff, and I don't know how much that would cost. I'll bet, you have an engineer do anything, it's $4,000. So I will try to find out about both of those things. Can we still get that same grant? How much will this thing cost? And try to move that ball a little bit and see where we can go. If we had to, we were refused for the grant at first, and then we ended up getting it. If we had to, we could actually use some of the money we put in the bridge and culvert for Benton Crossing for the covered bridge, because we can't have both of those bridges closed. That's not a good situation. So that's why me and
Covered bridge
Paula,
needs a coat of paint too.
Bad.
Bad.
Well, I mean, the bridge is racked.
I know it's
We know
right.
that. The deck is rotting from the bottom side.
We gotta fix that bridge.
So that one,
I mean, that's Arlington.
and as I said, after we got that first initial, Nick, you and I were down there the day the inspectors were
It
there.
was a terrifying day, to be honest.
Yep, the best time to do that would be in the spring, right after all the mud season is
No,
over,
I get it.
so that it's done before you get into the fall with all the tourists and everything else, because it's gonna be.
The only other option is late fall, right? Like. But
You
you
never
can't
know
put a
what the
coat of
weather
paint
is.
on it, but
Right.
yeah, I know, I get that.
Right, because they're gonna have to do all the construction before it gets painted. So
Right.
paint will be
But
the
worst
very last.
case, you could paint it in the spring.
You could push
Yes.
that off into the spring, but we could do a late fall construction on it,
Yeah.
but,
one of the things that was very disconcerting is that when we first went out to bid on this, because we went out to bid on this before we knew we had the grant, we thought we were
Right.
paying for it. We got
Right.
nothing.
I
And the
mean-
guy that I
they were
contacted,
backed up.
they
really,
were
really
totally backed up. I haven't been in touch with him.
Yep.
But we should keep in mind the possibility of, if like it turned out that he was available, and using the bridge and culvert funds we have in
Yeah.
here, and just
Bless you.
get the state grant.
Thank you.
But I just don't know what, I've got to do some more research. But I think, and the other thing is that if it comes down to trying to put pressure on the state, we already do have one of those bridges closed.
Yeah. And I would not want to be running that road all winter long, end to end.
No,
And
The two
also,
end
it's,
bridges. So we need
can the
one of
fire,
those.
can the fire trucks fit through the covered
They
bridge?
They
do,
can.
yes,
Yes, so if we lose the covered bridge, we've already lost Benedict Crossing.
right, and now you're going end
Yes.
to end,
Yes,
and that's just 5.5
it's an
mile road.
emergency.
I just don't really, I mean, we put it off long enough. It's
Yep.
wood. It needs
woods, it needs-
attention, so we've.
I
gotta
mean, we
find
had a
way.
little bit of repair done on it after Irene, when the bottom of,
You've
bridge
done a
was
little
locked up.
repair on it.
prior to that, it was back in the 80s. So
Yeah,
it's been a long time since that bridge has had anything done to it.
Okay,
Um,
all right, well,
I'll say, I sent a letter to the committee of jurisdiction telling this story and it got nowhere. But we did at least tell this story to
Yeah.
the House Transportation Committee,
Yep.
express how problematic this is and. it
well,
went. But we couldn't have expected a whole lot, but we did at least tell the story and say, like, the legislature can't say they're not aware.
I mean, worst case, we just repair it. And then we deal with them later.
Right.
And we can go to
start-
court
it's-
over it.
It's about getting state money.
Right, if we
I-
want
I
the state
understand
money,
that.
then we do the
Right,
engineering side on it. If we don't want the state money, then we just repair
Yeah.
the thing.
right,
And we can
and they are
put it
not
back
wrong
together.
that they have things in statute that if they are gonna use state money on structures like this, they're supposed to have jurisdiction. I think they're getting carried away with how they're enforcing it, but, people are fussy about covered bridges. This bridge is not original. It has a metal roof, it's got pine in it, it's got pressure. It's just, so I think they're getting carried away, but they are not wrong that there's statutory language that tells them they have to do what they're doing.
No, I don't disagree with that. I just think that
Right.
we need to move forward with repairing that.
Right,
bridge.
we need to get it done.
So,
That's right. So- Okay, so that is all I have to say about that. But that was my confession, and I will, Hail Mary. Or-
Yeah, spring maintenance, we've gotten a bunch of grading done. We've already had to replace 3 culverts. I've got another one either late this week or next week to change because it's failing. I have 4 to 5 catch basins that are failing. The bricks between the ring that holds the grate and the catch basin, where they bricked it up. The bricks won't take the salt. Over time, they deteriorate. So we've got all of that ahead of us for this year. We got the paving grant in. I did a paving grant for Warrenbrook Road North with reclaiming. It was $280,000. I'm this week using Mike Wood, which is one of our backup drivers, to give us a hand. He's out of school this week, drives a school bus. So he's given us a hand for a few days, seeing it's still just the 2 of us. About the only other thing that I've got is Chris from the town of White Creek reached out to me last week. At some point this summer, he has a 5-foot culvert on Chestnut Hill that he needs to replace. Wonders if we could come over and help for probably 2 days to do that with them. They would, in exchange, do probably most of the summer maintenance and Blackhole, thank you. And also help us with trucking, doing our sand like we did last year, which we put all our sand up in 2 days, 2.5 days. So just throwing that out there. And that's about it for me.
Spring grading's underway.
Oh, yeah.
Gravel's holding up well on my road.
Is it?
Yep.
I noticed it wettened up just past your driveway there, 2 weeks after that
Yeah,
first one.
you pushed it down.
I did,
but
I pushed it down there. Yeah.
It's holding up well. It's dried out. So thank you.
I just want to quickly revisit the covered bridge. I'm in agreement with Jamie that if it's going to hold it up possibly another year, I'd just soon do it without their money. So we can talk about that and make a decision next meeting, I guess. I guess we're on to the fire department. Anything for the fire? Jamie, looks like it might be up your alley. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. So talked with Nick, and I think Cynthia has too, a little bit. We had some ARPA money that we had set aside for some wildland clothing, primarily pants last year. With the amount of wildfires that there were throughout Canada and the western part of the United States, everything was in very short supply. So I have checked in with 2 companies this year. They've got a good supply. We're just trying to figure out where that money got set aside in our budgeting.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to get those ordered right now. We got 20 pair of pants at almost $400 a pair.
So
You get over a certain size and they're a little over 400. And we got a few of those guys.
So that's just north of 8,000. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and well, it won't be quite that because a lot of them are under that amount. But
Yep.
I think there was 4,500 that we had set aside. I wouldn't go above that. I would spend up to the 4,500 for the
Alright.
guys that are there all the time.
I make a motion
Well,
to approve.
Wait. We have to frame it in a particular way.
I know.
Because what happened was this was ARPA money that was allocated to the administration. And so the ARPA money has been allocated to the administration. And we are now sort of reallocating it from the administration to the fire department. So it's very important that we're allocating money allocated to the administration to the fire department. We're not allocating ARPA money because that's all allocated. So the motion should be to allocate 4,500 from administration to the fire department for the special protective clothing.
So I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of $4,500 from administration to the fire department to purchase wildland firefighter clothing.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to move.
Nope, Sebastian this time.
I'm sorry. Sebastian, I apologize. Seconded by Sebastian to move 4,500 from the admin count to fire department for the purchase of wildland firefighting clothing. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Jamie, do you know,
Yes.
did we order foam?
They were checking two different suppliers for pricing.
What about
So, I know-
booms and Zipsorb?
I don't know on those yet. I don't know.
Okay.
I know they were checking pricing on foam because one distributor's got it for a little better.
I just want to make sure that we get, because
Yeah.
we're getting those monies, so
Right, so
just
we wanna
from a
get
fire,
our consumables back.
from
Yeah.
our fire department, our insurance recovery so far as of today, $12,863 have come in from our billables here to date. And there is a percentage of that fire recovery keeps, but we just want to make sure that we're replacing our consumables. And those are the three things that I know we've used a lot of.
Yes, yes.
So I don't
I
know. what you
will, I will
call
touch base
Zipsorb.
with Brian tomorrow night on that.
Okay,
We also have fire department physicals tomorrow night,
okay.
so that will be coming through.
I won't come to the fire department tomorrow night.
No, it's gonna be at Fisher School, starting at 6 o'clock. And then
I
we
would have
did
wondered where
do,
everybody was.
we did do, one wildland, control burn in Sandgate for some training, a week ago. We're gonna do another one in Sunderland, but that field has turned extremely green.
Mm.
So that's not gonna burn so well. But, yeah, we're trying to get out and be seen and out there for the community, so.
Did Randy get the
The lighting
lamping
is,
done?
the lighting is all done.
Oh, I want to go see it.
Incredible,
I'll
yeah,
be able to see.
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I'll need sunglasses because I
Yep.
like it dark. but
Yep.
that's just-
But can I ask a question? I have heard by word of mouth that, maybe about 2 weeks ago, a train going through Arlington has
Yes.
caused sparks. And, along the railroad track, there had been a fire. Does the railroad take care of the right of way to, reduce flammable materials? I mean, how do
So,
we prevent this?
The
kind of
railway
thing?
has a 50-foot right of way. And they do not maintain that entire 50 feet. They
Okay.
maintain about 10 feet off the side of the tracks,
Yeah,
only where their brush equipment reaches.
yeah,
And in the residential areas, that gets even smaller because they don't want to push up too far. There were 5 spot fires on the way south when it went through. Burned a total in Arlington of 3.3 acres. 8 o'clock that night, when they went back north, they started another one, just north of town, which burned another half.
wow.
V-Trans, we can't fill.
Yeah,
What I
on the
understand.
railroad.
Nope. So that's, notably, the fires to the south were all in the exact same areas that in 2015 did the same exact thing. So same areas burned again.
Is this something that, as a community, we should address?
You're welcome to contact the
It's
railroad.
good.
No, but I mean, like-
I mean, we've reached out to them before and, I don't know. I watched that train go south that day and I was like, wow, that thing is really, doesn't sound well. And they had 5 engines on that day. And like the 4th one was like, whoa. And I'm pretty sure that was, because that's the only time I've seen that engine on that.
So it was something that was coming from the.
It was
engine.
sparking somehow
Okay.
and the grass was extremely dry at that point, brown, and it just.
Should have had something dragging
Yep.
or
I
whatever.
mean, the last time they had a break on nearly the second to last car. So it was quarter of a mile behind them. They couldn't see it, but it was just dragging and sparks flying everywhere.
Wow.
That was 7 miles worth of fire. That started in Sunderland at the Manchester town line and went all the way down into Shasbury. Notably with this one, most recent, there were 2 fires in Shasberry as well.
Wow.
So outside of our area, but, and we
Never even
called,
occurred to me that that was.
yep, so we immediately get on to our dispatch and have them contact V-Trans, who has the train stopped. They have to stop it when they get the report, so,
calls CSX or
Yeah.
whatever
so,
the.
they stop it until things are fixed or conditions get better,
Yeah.
which they didn't, but, because at 8 o'clock that night, we were just north of town across from the rec park, up on the side hill with another half acre. Yes, Stephanie.
Do you, I mean, how can you even be aware of when, because there's so many places that you can't visually see where the train is going? How do you, I mean, isn't it? I mean, eventually, I guess.
Smoke.
That's right.
That's the first
I
signal.
mean,
That's the
Somebody
first
calls it
signal.
in, somebody's
Like
driving
that.
by, they see it, they call it in, like that's
Yeah,
how it
that
works.
was exactly it. One of the firefighters' wives was driving by the 313 intersection over there, where the train had just gone over. And they're like, there's a fire here. And that's how it initially started. And then they're like, oh, there's more smoke south and more smoke south and more smoke south. So
I
we
was
just
telling
kept
people
chasing
today.
it. So it was a long afternoon.
There were people at work today saying, oh, complaining about the snow, and they said, why do we have to have this? I said, hey, Jamie said, we have more fires this year so far, but we've had,
Those are honestly, knock on wood, the only
Yep.
fires we've had other than controlled burns that were not permitted.
but a lot of people.
Well, they
don't know we were
weren't,
even
I shouldn't say
having
controlled
fires.
burns. Burns that were not permitted that we
Out of order, yeah.
that we had to
Sorry.
go extinguish.
Super.
Yeah.
If Brian or Eric needs help with quotes or anything on that stuff, I'm happy to.
Yep. Other than that, fire department, we are getting the truck committee back together, to get working on that. We've talked with a couple more manufacturers, and the new engine updates that are coming through are significantly gonna be changing the cost of fire
We knew
trucks.
that.
We knew that was coming. They
Some
had
of
an
them might get
estimate of
rolled
what it
back,
was gonna
too.
be, but Mark, you know the same thing. It's gonna
Some
be
of them
anywhere.
might get rolled back too, so,
You're not gonna see the death go away,
no.
but I think it'll be less intrusive.
The manufacturers are tooled in such a way now to build everything the way they have been. And I think they're gonna continue to build things the way they have been because,
Well, you get more profit off of.
well, that and just, when the Democrats get back into office, then they're gonna, make it all back mandatory again. So why retool and then wait another 3 or 4 years and have to retool again? I mean,
Well,
It's a horrible system. It is
It
an
is.
absolutely horrible
It is.
system.
I'll try and get to not this
So,
meeting, but the
um,
next meeting.
So right now they're estimating $35,000 to $50,000
Yeah.
engine upgrade.
Well, we knew that
Price.
already.
So
Keep billing the insurance.
that's all there was for fire department that I'm aware of.
Okay. Arlington Park and Rec, there's a winter project. Are there other updates?
I think that Willie has started full-time at the park and he's beginning all of his usual tasks. One thing to note is that he is gonna see about the question of power washing the courts. Remember, that was something we kind of have left over from last year. So he's gonna be investigating, maybe hiring somebody to doing it or renting the machine to be sure it's the right thing to do and it does what we want. So that's one of the things that he's gonna be working on. He did report that, 2 of the windows in the park building need to be replaced. And he's gotten a price, for 2 windows, a total of $558 from Home Depot. Glenn and Dan, I'm really sorry. I just didn't think about,
No problem.
you guys being on Zoom, but it's literally.
No problem at all.
It's just writing down 558 for 2 windows. He says he can put them in himself. And ask the board consideration of this. I have not gone to look at the windows. He also says that the door to the men's room is gonna need to be replaced because, people have kicked it in at various times. I prefer to have an analysis of the building and figure out everything that we need to do, rather than do things piecemeal. But of course, he hasn't been at the park. So this is not a big project. I think it's fine to do that, but I think that we should kind of get an overview of the building going
These
forward.
are pretty standard window sizes. I don't know why we didn't ask miles for price.
Willie and I have gone over all of this stuff too, and back in let's call it March, I looked at the men's room door and the women's room door with him, both of which probably should be redone. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I know Willie's not there, and I can confirm this tomorrow, but I want to say the doors were only $400 plus the locking mechanisms that he would recommend.
Do we want to get a price from RK Miles for this stuff?
That's where I thought he originally got the door price from, but then I know Cynthia just said the windows was from Home Depot. So
It's written on a note sheet.
Yeah, I can touch base with Willie tomorrow at some point. Give him
I
a
think it
shout.
would be good because, I mean, RK has done right by us with returns of product and everything. I really want to give them a chance to, and just quote 2 doors and 2 windows on one quote, and we're buying doors from them for.
I can have Kevin Sheldon stop down there and see Willie and see exactly what he needs and then price it out for us.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
All the windows in the building that we've replaced so far, we've got through RK Miles, and they've been very good to us. So I think I agree.
I agree with you guys. So I'll get Kevin to give Willie a shout and get down there and kind of check it out and at least give us a number.
Yeah, and if there's a warranty problem with Windows or something, like I got somebody I can go talk to that's meaningful.
I bet RK would stand by him a little bit better than Home Depot probably would.
I guarantee it. Home Depot would not even warrant it. So, all right. Anything else for the park? Hearing none. Yes.
I don't have anything. Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to go on to the Energy Committee. There's a bylaw amendment. Do you want to go over that with us, Stephanie?
Stephanie's here, and I just want to go over it briefly because I did not again provide the original bylaws. You guys got that at the last meeting, and
that's fine.
We deferred it, but the changes they proposed then are very minor, and what they're proposing now is very minor. And I just want to review it just to remind you. They are saying that voting members must be residents or part-time residents, because remember, they have a valuable member of the committee who is now no longer a permanent resident in Arlington. They're adding that a vice chairperson can be elected by a majority of the committee. They only have a chair, so they want to have a vice chair to run the meetings in the chair's absence. And then they want to specify that the vice chair shall assume all the duties and powers of the chair in the chair's absence or when the chair so requests. So for Glenn and Dan, it's really just the change in the residents to include part-time residents, establishing a vice chairperson, and allowing the vice chair to run the meetings. And I'll let Stephanie chime in as well. But I wanted to frame that we did review these things last time with the full bylaws.
Yep.
Imagine what else I would add to that, Cynthia.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendments to the Arlington Energy Committee bylaws as presented.
Is there
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve the bylaw amendments to the Energy Committee bylaws. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Stephanie, did you have any comments?
Yes, thank you.
And I'll second that.
That was the easiest thing I've ever had to do here in this building.
They were very minor changes. So there's
But
no reason not to approve them.
Well, thank you. And I will say it does matter, as we know. I mean, when I was sick, the committee everybody was taking over for me. And so this actually is really good, whether I'm there or not, but for future iterations of the committee, it's going to be important that there's always a protocol. So it actually does matter. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Merck project updates.
Yes, so I informed, the Jocelyn that he got the contract for the current work, and I told the other contractor that he didn't, and thank you very much. And I have started on the next stage, and, it was very interesting because when I went back and reviewed the report and I consulted with the, architect who had done the specifications about what we should do, she said that she thought that it would be more important to do the insulation in the town hall and then do the heat pumps in the town hall, okay?
Yep.
Than to do the insulation in the garage. And this is because, as you may or may not know, there is insulation in the garage ceiling. It's not properly sealed and covered up. It's not as good as it should be. That's why she had it as one of the projects. But she feels that because this building is occupied and people are working here all the time and there is not enough insulation. And the granting agency, again, it's the state, but they really want us to get all the way to the heat pump. And that's gonna be in this building because the garage is not suitable for the heat pump. So if we're gonna get all the way to the heat pump, which is what they want, then we've got to do the insulation here and then the heat pump here if we have enough money. But if we don't, if we run out of money or whatever, at least we've done the insulation.
Right.
And that is the whole point. Like, they actually think that the insulation is more important than the heat pump because we're all
I
ready
agree
to
with
do the
that.
heat pump at some point, but the insulation.
I
So-
agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I will be doing for the next stage is to go out to bid for the insulation in the town hall using what the architect specified, and I'll send it to her for review and I'll send it to the board. I just don't have it ready for tonight. But I will get that ready, and I have sent a letter to Randy Novotny about evaluating the electrics in the building to see if there's any work we need to do to go to the heat pumps. So I'm gonna move forward with that, and I will hope to have the RFP for you guys to look at, as soon as possible, have that available.
Is there anything that we can do to help the AEC? Do you need, I mean, are out if those lists are helpful?
No, I do have a list, and I'm gonna use the list with this, because I think the insulation thing is kind of specialized. So I'm gonna look at the list to see if people that specialize in that kind of stuff.
Yep, and if you need any help, please let us know.
I will let you know. But I did get those lists and I have those. So
We're
that
gonna
was
check
actually,
too and see if there's any source well vendors that, provide those services.
okay, so it's well vendor. So that's actually very, very interesting, and I actually think it's a good, it's a good plan. So there we are.
Okay. How about the RFP drafts?
No, that's what I don't have. That's what I don't have.
All right.
That's what I'm
So
gonna
we're
have.
going out with those.
But I
Okay.
told you the change in plans because that is a kind of a
Yeah,
shift. So I
Yeah.
told you that, and I'll have the RFQ drafts for next time.
Okay. So the RFPs are for a changed plan direction. So,
Yes.
anything else under Merck?
No.
All right. Next item is the gardeners agreement with the gardeners over at the Yellow Barn Farm.
Yes,
I'm
this
assuming
is,
it's just a formal approval of the New Year's contract with them.
yes, so what this is back in 2020, we, the select board agreed with the gardeners at Yellow Barn Farm, that's YBF, that they would, establish those gardens and grow food that's distributed in the community, and that they also use the barn for storage, and we changed the water, we put a hose further out for them. So that agreement started in 2020, was for 5 years, so it ran out. So this is a new version of the agreement. It's revised to reflect the fact that we did the water line. The previous agreement said we would do the water line. Well, now we've done it, so I revised it. Everything else is exactly the same. If it wasn't for the fact that the previous agreement was approved by the select board, I would have signed this agreement myself, but I didn't want to usurp the board's authority. So I would ask that, the board, you certainly can glance over it, but again, it is exactly the same, except for changing the fact that saying we will extend the water line to, we did extend the water line, and everything else is the same.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for permission for land use for the gardens at Yellow Garden Farm as presented. There's no other significant changes in it. It should be rewritten the next time this comes up in a better format, but this is fun.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve.
Nope, Sebastian.
Sebastian, sorry.
Keep messing with you, Dan.
Agreement with Yellow Barn Farm and the gardeners. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, did you cover the ARPA report, Cynthia?
No,
Okay, go ahead.
so this is just to let the board know that annually you have to report on your use of the ARPA funds on a national federal website. And, although I had gotten registered, you have to establish an account, and I had established an account. I couldn't do the report because I think Nick's was the original account and he had not given me that power. So I had Nick come, and he does still work for the town, as BCRC. And so we did the report through his account, and I would never have been able to do it. It was not the worst thing in the world, but it was bad enough. And so he and I did it. I gave him the numbers and he entered them. So we have done that report. There are only 3 outstanding ARPA funding situations. One is the concrete at the park that I know that, that Glenn and Willie have talked about. One is the hydrology study that we mentioned for the water department, and the other is the wastewater study. So, those are, everything else in that whole ARPA list is completed and the funds have been used. So that's really good. And again, I can't thank Nick enough. On the wastewater topic, I just want to remind the board that I do have an attorney looking at the easements on Yellow Barn Farm and whether we could use that property. And I will have Otter Creek here doing test pits with Mark on the property in question to see if it's suitable, the other property to see if it's suitable for wastewater in early May. So that is, I'm gonna, and then once we have kind of those results, then the board may want to have a wastewater public meeting or a subcommittee meeting or something like that. So that's all I have there, but I just do want to express my gratitude towards Nick and Christian, our treasurer, for helping me with that.
Okay. 9B, town administrator hire approval.
All right, so we need to officially hire our new town administrator. She has accepted her offer letter. So I would make a motion to approve the hire of Katie Dixon as town administrator with pursuant to the terms of the contract job offer letter that we sent her, and with a start date on or around May 11th.
Second that motion.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve the hire of Miss Dixon as the town administrator. And what was the hire date you said?
On or around May 11th?
May 11th. Okay. On or around May 11th.
On or around.
Yeah, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 We are super excited
Welcome.
to have you. Welcome.
Matt, thank you for all your hard work on that. And the luck of knowing, my mother used to always tell me, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Ain't that the truth?
If the right person comes along, I know a guy or a gal somewhere to ask. So
That's the proper use of thinking outside the box. All right, 9C, liquor license or licenses.
yes. We'll do these grouped by entity. And we have 3 this evening. And again, this is just a verbal approval. Our first authorization is for a tobacco license for Chem Clean Center LLC on 313 West. Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there a second?
Yep, Jamie.
Motion made to approve the tobacco license for Chem Clean. Seconded by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, our next will be a motion to approve an outside consumption permit, a first-class hotel license, and a third-class hotel license for Battenkill Resorts LLC, also known as the Arlington Inn.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie for an outside consumption permit, a first and third class hotel license for the Arlington Inn LLC. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And our last applicant this evening is for a motion to approve, make a motion to approve tobacco license and a second class license for West Arlington Wayside LLC.
Second.
So it's a tobacco license and a second class liquor license for Wayside Store LLC. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right. Is there anything else for the TA report?
No, I think I've pretty much reported on things as we went through the meeting.
Okay. Let's do the warrants, and if there's an executive session afterwards, we'll deal with it.
There is.
All right. So warrants this evening, we are going to start with the water department. I will make a motion to approve check warrant report WD8 in the total amount of $5,681.26.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve check warrant report number WD8 in the total amount of $5,681.26. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Bear with me just a second.
Yep.
Something up. I just noticed something on this. I want to just look it up real quick. I would think there would be a better way to do this. We bought a computer?
Yeah, we bought, the computers for the treasurer's office, Kristen's computer and Robin's computer.
Why didn't we buy them on state contract?
They wanted to use e-enable so that they would have the e-enable crew being able to come and help with issues, as they arose.
Did we
And,
see quotes on these and approve them?
Dan authorized me to
Okay.
order it. It was within the compass of my
Okay,
procurement
just asking.
ability.
I don't think we got the best deal on that, but that's my opinion. I will make a motion to approve check warrant report number 8 in the total amount of $24,387.44. We got some computers on there, Green Mountain Power, BCRC, payment. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve
Nope.
check.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Sebastian. My computer went to saving mode and darkened everything, so I couldn't see his mouth was moving.
I think I was turned away anyway.
Yeah. So the total amount of $24,387.44, and just a matter of discussion. I understand your point, Nick or Matt, that but I approved it because for the same reason we approved deferring to Josh Brace's department head. The girls in the town clerk's office and so forth, they really like their service with the Enable, and if we spend a little more money, they stay happy. I'm good with that. You can beat me up if you want to. That was my call, and I concurred for that same reason we authorized Josh to
Okay.
on the payment thing. But that was my reasoning. So just so you know where I was coming from. All right. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. What is the reason for the executive session?
We have a personnel and we have a legal and property issue.
Okay, I will,
I'll make a motion
that
that,
was the reason.
make a motion that a premature discussion of a personnel and a legal matter would cause the municipality to suffer substantial disadvantage.
Is there a second? Motion made by,
Jamie.
Matt and second by Jamie. I saw that one that time. For a personnel and legal issue. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to enter into settled executive session and to invite interim town administrator Browning and Mark Robinson to remain in the room.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and second by Jamie to enter into said executive session and allow interim town administrator Browning to remain in the room and Mark Robinson, road foreman, to remain in the room. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 So
We'll talk
I'll,
this week.
if you can call me and put me on speakerphone.
Yeah, say Jamie or Matt, can I
Yep.
want you guys to give me
I'll
a
give you a
shout?
jingle.
I can say you can both call me. I'll put you both on my phone.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Should we just stay in here?
Yeah, it's just
We gotta
ours.
shut everything off.
Yeah, stop recording.
Oh, gosh.